Hola, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
So we've been here in Mexico since August of 2024, and we are going through the Spanish school down here at Roca Blanca Mission Base. We've had lots of questions, so we want to kind of answer those questions and tell you more in detail about the Spanish school program. Hola, I'm Neosha.
And I'm Nick.
We moved from Kansas
To Mexico.
We are sharing our journey with you.
We hope you enjoy.
May God bless you.
Que Dios te bendiga.
All right, so let's get started. First of all, I do have the webpage up, and I'm going to read from it so that you can know word for word what it says, then we'll explain it.
And the link for that is rocamission.com/Roca Blanca Spanish.
And we will link that down below as well.
That'll be there.
Okay. All right, so the first thing is basically, who are we is the question on here. So what is it? We are a community of like-minded Christ followers, an intensive missionary language school with a Spanish curriculum that emphasizes excellence and immersion into a Hispanic culture. So both are necessary if you're going to communicate like you really hope to and be effective over the long term. The gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ deserves no less. The school is open to adults of any age and any Spanish-speaking level, and often to older children of adult students.
Since we've been here, we have experienced everything from 18-year-old kids to 71-year-old. And we've made friends with all of them. It's a great environment.
Yes, exactly. So it doesn't matter what age you are, what level of Spanish you are welcome.
Yep.
So.
And you don't have to come and do it all at once. We're going to skip 2 sessions and come back to finish level 4. There's a student in level 2 now that had done level 1 at a different time, and now she's back to do level 2. And it's very flexible, but it is very intensive when you're actually in it.
Okay, so the next question is basically, where are we? Where is it? So, on the webpage, it says a half-hour drive from Puerto Escondido in historic Oaxaca. Tepic, the fishing village where Roca Blanca is located, is approximately 1/2 hour from Puerto Escondido, the best surfing beach in Mexico. Of course, our students can also enjoy the beach just 100 yards from the base, along with the tropical climate year-round. In our state of Oaxaca, which has the largest number of unreached people groups in the Western Hemisphere, 16 major large language groups and 155 dialects, there are needy coastal towns and rustic mountain villages, providing ample opportunity for ministry experience and other culture interaction. It says here that we're pleased that the U.S. State Department bulletins continue to show that the Roca Blanca Spanish Language School is located in the safest and most secure area in Mexico, well and easily patrolled, virtually free from the drug and other violence issues that are plaguing Mexico's border towns and some large cities. So there is a tab at the top talking about safety as well on the webpage.
Tepic is the proper name of our town. It is known as El Cacalote. We're not 100% certain what it means. Any of your cities, I haven't learned this officially, but I did here anyway. Any of your cities that end in the Tepic, like Cacalotepic, means you're at the base of the mountains, which we are. We're sandwiched right between the mountains and the ocean. So you'll hear us refer to it as El Cacalote. This says Cacalotepic. It's the same place.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so the next question is, why study here? So thorough formal classroom training combined with non-formal and informal experiential learning allow you to gain valuable cultural insights and ministry experience while you study. Located on the campus of a Bible school, music school, high school, vocational school, orphanage, and medical clinic, mostly staffed by Mexican nationals. There are many opportunities to daily engage others on a multicultural level. At Roca Blanca Spanish Language School, your academic studies become practical to you from the start as you become a part of the community of seasoned missionaries, national students from various indigenous groups, and multi-ethnic staff on the Roca Blanca mission base, all who love Jesus, his word, and his ways.
And that's important to say too. There is a vetting process, background checks and stuff that they do. They will call your references, call your pastor, and just make sure that you are who you claim you are, and that they feel like you'll be a good fit here.
So some of the questions that we've had is like, how long is the program, the entire schooling, what is the pace, levels by what you learn or know, things like that. So we're going to go into the method and course description here. It says that the full course includes 4 levels. There are 5 levels now, and it takes approximately 8 months to complete. So now that there's 5 levels, it takes 10 months to complete. Level 1 being little to no working Spanish, and level 4 being near native fluency. Sorry about that. If you think that you may be able to enter in at any other level than level 1, then you'll need to fill out the placement evaluation that you can download and send back to them from the applying and placement page. Okay, and there's a link on that at the top of that webpage. There's also, well, just like I mentioned, a level 5 class offered, and it's actually offered whenever you need it, right? I mean,
Right.
it says on
We
here
were told that
periodically.
it kind of caters to your specific needs, which we can go into after this.
So this class is designed to give additional and ample time to perfect the more challenging parts of the language, increase your fluency, and oral spontaneous translating, anything else that you need. So I'm going to keep going down on here and tell you how the classes are set up.
I'm going to pause her for just a second. That level 5, we were told that it can actually cater to some of your specific needs. Like, I am going to be, I'm planning to be working on automotive stuff. Well, we don't learn a lot of those specific words. I don't know that I'm sure they could do that for me. But they can be more specific to things that I need in my profession, kind of help me learn that stuff. I think is how level 5 kind of works. The last lady that was there was actually going into teaching here, and so they were a little more specific with her teaching stuff.
Okay, so we're going to go into how the day is set up. Daily group devotions begin each class day, followed by 4 50-minute classes with an hour-long meal break in the middle. Grammar is taught daily. The other 6 classes are every other day. And here is a brief description of each of the classes. So, principles of grammar, the backbone of the language, empowering you to create your own sentences as you study proper grammatical structures and verb conjugation. These grammatical concepts are reinforced throughout the day, increasing speed and accuracy. And then you have practical vocabulary. It's presented thematically, facilitating conversation and consistently reinforced in all of the day's classes. And then there are verbs. The verbs are also presented thematically, enabling the language learner to converse in increasing depth and purposeful accuracy. Phonetics. Practice and pronunciation teaches clear, correct pronunciation and fine-tunes your accent to native accuracy. Spanish vowel and consonant sounds not native to English will be taught, practiced until they become natural. In this class, the student will gain familiarity with both the modern and traditional Spanish translations of the Bible. Okay, you're going to hear a rooster. There is a rooster right outside our door.
Trust me, we hear him all night long usually.
So we just try to ignore him. Then you have lab, which is a conversation class where the skills you learn in the other classes move from the written page more and more into your normal speech. And then you have Patroni's class, and that incorporates comprehension exercises, memory and substitution drills, and recognition of linguistic patterns to help you to listen to, read, and respond to selected material with increasing speed and accuracy. And then you have translation, which increases and measures your accuracy as you translate prepared material under the guidance of your teacher. So then after the class, in the afternoons, they're free, okay? So your class, technically, yeah. Your class starts at 8 o'clock and it goes all the way to 1 o'clock with an hour break in the middle there from 10 to 11, okay? After class, the afternoons are free to do written and speaking homework, which is an average of 2 hours each weekday. And then you can interact with resident Bible and music school students and staff, visit with the locals in the village, go into one of the nearby towns, and you can go to the beach, etc. Students are encouraged to attend occasional excursions to local and mountain villages as part of a ministry team, often in conjunction with the base clinic, engaging in the rich variety of cultural expression found among Oaxaca's indigenous peoples. At the moment, we're going to go into the cost. How much does the school cost? So basically, the first thing that you have to do is you need to register. And the registration fee is $50 US dollars, and it is to be sent at the same time as your application. So at the top of the webpage, there is a link that says applying and placement, and that's where you're going to go.
And it's $50 per student.
Per student, yes.
And that helps them conduct the background check.
Yes. And this is one time per student, non-refundable fee, and it is not a part of the tuition. The tuition is $600 US dollars per student for each session. Okay, and each level session runs for 7 consecutive weeks, and then all the necessary materials are included. So the next part that you might be questioning is, what about housing? Where are we going to live? All right, go ahead.
So the house that we are living in is actually a Spanish school house. We are still paying, ours is 2,000 pesos a month. Which right now, with where the dollar's at, only about $100. 100 US dollars a month that we pay for this. We actually pay half that much again for internet, but we have Starlink. So, I mean, that's technically optional, but we like our Starlink. We get to come out into the world with all of you.
Yeah.
So, but there are options to live with a host family. There's a lot of people that really love living with a host family because then they get to speak every day. And honestly, we'd probably be doing better in our speaking if we had a host family, but we don't. We just use it when we go to town, go to shop, and we should probably be talking more between the two of us in Spanish. But sometimes when you just want to get a point across real quick, it's just easier in your native language. So, but the houses are usually, they're clean, and I'm not gonna say nice according to what we would call nice in American standards, but we've got everything we need, and there's nothing wrong with it. Some are nicer than others, and just depends on what's available.
Yeah, and basically with Spanish school, you come here for Spanish school, you're immersing yourself in the culture. So you are living in their homes. Like, even though we don't live with a host family, we're living in someone's home.
And I mean, our landlord is technically in the same building.
They're upstairs.
They're upstairs,
Yeah.
but this is just a separate apartment.
So we get to experience what it's like for them. They live here all the time.
And we've kind of made friends with them. They invite us out to things going on in town, and it's fun to get out and do the culture thing.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. We really enjoy it. So some other costs that might occur for those arriving at an airport or something and you need a ride here from the airport, that's going to be a little extra cost. That kind of explains it in the on the website, but also, you know, it's something that you can talk with our director on if you need a ride or whatever. Okay, so next thing I'm going to actually go to the frequently asked questions on the webpage, and maybe that'll help kind of answer some questions that you have. One of the questions is how many students are in each class. So there are usually 2 to 6 students in a class. This ensures that each student has the opportunity to interact with the instructor as needed while their progress is closely monitored. If it becomes evident that the students would learn more efficiently with smaller classes, then they divide into 2 classes. Then we kind of talked about homework. Okay, so classes end at 1 p.m. and many students will do their homework or speaking assignments between 1 and 3. And then they'll eat their afternoon meal and go do some fun things and everything. The way we do it, we stick around, we'll do our homework with other students and kind of go over it. And then we all just kind of disperse after that and go do our own things or
I mean, there's
whatever.
Study time that probably needs to be done. That's part of the homework. That usually will take more than the 2 hours. But, it's intensive. People have called it drinking Spanish with a fire hose.
Yeah.
And it's very quick. I mean, each level is, like we said, 7 weeks. It's designed to give you about a year's worth of Spanish in each 7-week chunk.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely fast. It gives you a lot. And I will say, we've been told by even some of the local Mexicans here that when we are done with this program, we will speak more proper Spanish than them.
Yeah.
But, they teach us very relatively specifically to Mexican Spanish. It's a little different than Spanish from Spain and South America. So.
Yeah, exactly. How will I be evaluated? So in addition to both written and oral exams given during and following each level, students may be evaluated daily in all 7 subjects: grammar, vocabulary, verb conjugations, oral drills, phonetics, conversation, and translation. So an average of 80% or more is necessary to move to the following level and for final graduation. Many schools have given credit to our students who go on to a university, and it says in there, we're happy to write a transcript describing your classes and your grades if you so request. So, pretty cool. Neat perk there. All right, so will I be fluent when I finish? While individual aptitude determines this answer in part, motivation plays a larger role in determining how far you will come by the end of the course. So that's how much you're going to get out there and actually speak it and practice and everything like that. So
yep, and I'm up to this point I have struggled to get out and really use it, but I don't know. Even just this last week, I have met several new, not new, but several friends that I can speak more with. So hopefully I'll be practicing out loud more. On paper, I can do great. I average probably well above a 90% in all of the classes through all of the levels so far. I struggle when it comes to bringing it out, which we keep getting told, that comes with time, but but I gotta be on top of it myself.
Gotta be proactive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's way better at speaking it than I am.
kind of. I wish I was much better though than what I am.
We all wish we were much better than what we are.
So, yeah. All right. So basically, one of the other questions is how can we pay for tuition, rent, living expenses while there? So the tuition is paid for online, and it's through Venmo or PayPal, or it can be a check can be mailed. And the other for rent, living expenses, things like that. So like, for instance, us, we pay our landlord for the rent. And then we go into town every 2 months. You pay for your electricity bill. And so we go into town to whomever we need to pay, and we go ahead and pay them for that.
And that
So.
averages out to 20 to 35 or so dollars per month, even though it's paid every 2 months.
Yeah.
It's really cheap because the Mexican government subsidizes it. As long as you're not using an insane amount of electricity, and then they'll shut those subsidies off. And that's a whole other story.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So, traveling here, you can either drive or you can fly, and you'll figure that out when the time comes. Are there dress and behavior policies? So,
Yes.
as a student, you will be asked to follow the policies of the Roca Blanca mission base regarding dress and culturally sensitive issues. For details, you can go to the website. It kind of explains it there more in detail. Okay. This page is actually designed for short-term teams, but you'll find that it's useful through the culture and packing tips and everything like that. So it's very helpful. Okay, so another thing that it says on here is that the primary issues are modesty and discretion, and a zero alcohol policy during your time here, all for the sake of our indigenous friends and neighbors whose norms and habits may be quite different from those of some students. If you have any particular questions regarding piercings, tattoos, types of clothing, etc., please feel free to contact them. So.
And there are people here with piercings and tattoos, and it's not a huge issue on that stuff. Modesty, the way we dress, is important. No crop tops. That goes for men too. You can't be running around in crop tops. And just long enough shorts and skirts to not
like
be showing
kneelings.
off. Not be showing off stuff, and men and women both. We don't want to see that. So.
Yeah.
And bathing suits when you're out on the beach. That's a big one. Just dress modestly, because if you are a non-Mexican in this area, people are just going to assume you're associated with the base. So it doesn't matter where you're at. They don't like those things happening around here.
Yeah. Next question is, what is there for childcare and children's schooling? So for those of you who have children, one option for baby and toddler care is with a local family or a single adult at their or your house in town. So you can have a babysitter. But then there's also on the Roca Blanca base, there is a Christian preschool, elementary, middle school, and high school with most classes taught in English, the rest in Spanish. So there are options for the kids. If your child is 16 or older and speaks English, another option is to do their classes online with a fully accredited program available to us, where they can finish grades 9 through 12 with career training included within 6 to 18 months. So there's more information on there if you want to know anything else. And then there's a question on what things should I bring. You can go check that out. What about visas? So you would come on a tourist visa. If you have a temporary, temporary or a permanent residency, you should know how that works. Telephones and internet. So we actually were using our internet to get a hold of people, but now Telcel has become a thing here.
And that just
so-
happened in the last 2 weeks.
Mhm.
So we're pretty excited about it because we were in a dead zone right here in the town. If you went out on the beach, you could hit the cell phone towers from Puerto Escondido. But while we were away at Christmas break, they got us set up here in town, and now we have LTE in our house. So
Yep.
we wouldn't technically need the internet anymore. So
Mhm.
it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Small improvements.
So another question is, do you do fun and cultural activities? Yes, you do. And then you have opportunities to go out on a mission with the clinic, which is really neat. Pop-up clinic going on and help out through that.
In our first level, we were supposed to go out on a clinic trip, and then we had a couple of days of school get canceled because of flooding and Hurricane John. And so that kind of pushed off the whole clinic thing. So we didn't really get one in level 1, but we did get to do a cool cultural day in our local county seat. It used to be the capital of the whole state of Oaxaca, but there are so many cultural things to do around here. So
Yeah, a lot of neat things.
there's a church
So-
there that was built in the 1500s. That, to me, is really exciting.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go through some of the questions, whatever. So, do they have less intensive programs? Jazz had asked. No, they just have the one program. So they don't have any other intensive programs or anything like that. So it's just the one program, and it is intensive, but it is definitely doable. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So we've had, like we said, 71-year-olds doing it. So definitely doable. Is it what you expected? Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
we had people, guiding us,
mhm.
kind of like this.
Yeah.
We had
So
people guiding us. So yeah, it was pretty much exactly what we expected. It's not actually as hard as what I expected. Some people come and it's way harder than they expected. I'm kind of I don't want to say that I'm a pessimist, but I was prepared for the absolute worst when we came, and so far I haven't come across anything that has killed me yet. So.
Yep. Azariah had asked how long is the entire schooling. We were able to answer that. Can you do it at your own pace? Okay, so as far as at your own pace, you can do each level at your own pace. So you can do level 1, you can leave for quite a few months, come back and do level 2. Or you can do level 1 and then level 2 and just kind of go that route. So that's what, at your own pace.
As far as the day-to-day classes, you can do them at your own pace as long as your pace is fast.
Yeah. Let's see. And then we answered how much it is. And let's see. Do you have to speak Spanish the entire time during class? No. If we did, we would be so lost.
Every level, though, they are making us do a lot more. Which
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
they
So
better
progressed.
be, or else they better be, because and this level, our teachers are a lot less lenient with us talking in English. We have to speak more Spanish, and they speak almost all Spanish.
Yeah.
Every place but grammar. Grammar is done a lot in English, but our instructions are no longer in English. We have to read our instructions in Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing is we are learning the correct Spanish because we are learning from Mexicans. We're not learning from white people whose native language is English. The only person we're learning that from is our grammar teacher, David, and he's been speaking Spanish. Like he hardly
And he
speaks
learned
English. He's been speaking Spanish how long? Like
25 years, 30 years. I don't remember. A long time. He used to live in Spain, and now he lives here. He's learned all of the Spanish.
so.
And he is who you will get in contact with if you end up coming here, because he leads us.
Yeah. So, but all the other teachers are native to here. They are Mexicans, and that's their first language is Spanish.
Yep.
So, And okay, so we've had actually someone saying I never use like Sino or Sino K, or I've never heard it said this way. This is how we say it. You know, we've had a lot of people saying things like that. So
They're trying to teach us the correct way. They tell us a lot, some of these words you won't hear. People just don't use them, but this is the correct way. So they teach us those. And some of it looks, some comments were that some of it looks kind of beginning level here in level 3. Well, we are relearning a few words that we can use in the what tense are we in right now?
we're in reflexive.
Thank you. Yeah, we relearn some of these words so we can redo them in reflexive tense. There are, I think we were told, 14 different tenses that we learn in Spanish, and we learned every one of them. And right now we're working on reflexive, so we're redoing some of those words to reuse them in the reflexive tense.
Yeah, because a lot of those vocab words we've already learned in level 1, and so they're just bringing them back to us in a different way.
Right.
So,
and like she read earlier, our vocab lists and our verbs and all of the conjugating, they kind of match them across the level. So if they're going to teach us the reflexives, they have to give us some words that work as reflexive verbs. And then, the different tenses and things. Our translation pages are a page that we have to just write down the translation of. And we can do all of that with the verbs we learn and the tenses we're learning and the
vocabulary.
Yes, the vocabulary.
Yeah. So they throw it all together, the verbs, the tenses, the vocabulary that we're learning that week. They throw it all together for a translation page that we translate. So
and those, I hated those the first level. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do these. And now I don't mind them at all. So
yeah.
They
So
were one of her favorites, and I was like, why? I don't understand. but they're good.
yeah.
I'm learning a lot because of those. So.
And we know that a lot of you are like, well, you were just doing this level and now you're in this level and everything. And so, like we said, each level is 7 weeks long. Usually you get a week break, except for in August, there's a 3-week break, and in December there is a 3-week break.
Yeah, we just came off of a 3-week break.
Mhm.
That's probably why they're being nice to us this first week.
But so 7 weeks long is each level, and each 7-week level, or each 7 weeks for each level, is a year's worth of learning. And so they cram it,
And it's good to have, because kind of how the human brain works. I mean, your learning is about 3 weeks behind your understanding, is the best way I can put it. And I've heard that before, and it never really made sense until now. Because, you get 3 weeks in and you're going, oh, that stuff we did back then was easy, but now the new stuff is hard.
Yeah.
So.
And every 7 days there is a test. So there's an A day, B day, A day, B day, A day, B day, and then a C day. Okay, so and that's the test. So basically on the A days we have to memorize vocabulary words and a verse.
The Bible verse in Spanish.
And then B day, we have verbs that we need to memorize. And then we go back to A day, vocabulary and verse.
And it's grammar every day.
Grammar's every day, yeah. So, and then all of that is on that test. Everything that we learn in those 6 days will be on that test. So and it's just...
It is intensive. And for any of you going, oh, this is way too much, overwhelmed, I hated school, whatever. I hated school. I really hated English. I had a really good teacher in high school, Mr. Ray, if he ever stumbles across this video. I did not care for him at the time, just because his classes were hard. But I realized later, typical teenage attitude, I realized later that I learned more in his classes on English than I had probably learned in all of my life before that. So, sometimes being pushed is a good thing, even if it doesn't seem like it at the time.
But the thing is, even though this might be intense and everything, it's only one subject that you're learning.
Right.
Not
and
several.
That's, I think, my saving grace on this one is because I hated school and I hated English, I hated grammar. Grammar was terrible. And now I kind of wish I could teach some of this grammar because the rules in Spanish just make sense to me. And so I actually have some fun in that class.
And also, I mean, that's all you're focused on is just learning Spanish throughout this whole time. So if you don't have anything else that you have going on, that's what you're doing. Now, another thing is, some of you have commented on some of the celebrations that we were doing in Spanish school. All right. So we want to clear the air with this.
Yeah, because some of those are not Christian celebrations.
No. Okay, so we're Christians. This is Christian-based Spanish school, everything like that. So the main thing here is to immerse yourself and to learn the culture, okay? And the culture, part of it is some of their celebrations.
Right.
We don't go out and celebrate those,
No.
but we bring in some stuff just to learn about it.
Yes. Day of the Dead is a good example of that. I mean, we kind of watch some movies and we watch some things about Day of the Dead, just so we learn the
To
culture.
learn.
And it was, I don't remember who said it, and some people are going to probably get after me for this, but it was the line that we were told the other day. Be like them. It's the motto for being missionaries. Be like them in all things except for sin. And some of the traditions are, they have some sinful roots. And that's why we don't actually celebrate these things, but we do learn about them. And
Yeah.
So the Three Kings Day cake, they've kind of turned that into a Christian holiday of sorts, but its roots are not exactly. But it's fun to see what their locals are doing.
Yeah.
If they didn't talk to us about this stuff at all, we would be really confused when we go out into the city for during like Day of the Dead, and they've got decorations everywhere, and all of the stores we go to have these altars with dead relatives on them.
And we'd be like, what is this? Why?
We need to know the people that we're working with.
Yeah.
And we love this culture. I mean, even though it's maybe not a Christian root, it's nice.
It's who they are.
Right. It's nice to see them still so family oriented, even if it's not exactly Christian based. It's nice to see how much they care for their families even after they've passed. So it's good to learn.
Yeah.
It's good to learn.
So that's why we do these things, and that's why we share the videos of things that we're learning.
Right.
And so like we did the Three Kings Day, and they had the cake and stuff, and you cut into it to see if you got the baby. And basically what that represents is if you got the baby, then on, I think, February 2nd, you have a little party at your house with everybody, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's just all in helping us to learn. It's kind of a hands-on learning, but in school. Okay. So really, we are not out celebrating the things that are not Christian based. We're learning about the culture and learning to just love the people here. Okay, and in one of our videos, we mentioned about how laid back it is here and everything. It is laid back, it really is. But people do work really hard, and we did mention that too.
Yeah.
They work from sun up to sun down, and they are doing all kinds of hands-on stuff. They are washing their clothes by hand. They are cleaning their homes quite a bit. The men are out working, whatever trade that they have. Or maybe the men are gone. They're out in a different country working, and the women are here and they're taking care of their little tienda and stuff like that. You know, all kinds of things. Everybody has something going on, but all in all, I mean, they do family matters and stuff, and
Yeah, it's just,
so
you know, it's just way more relaxed than the States. It's a lot less. Seems like a lot less anxious society here. I know we're a lot less anxious here, and just going into the stores, even the people that are working, they're just seem so much more friendly than some of the stores in the States, where you get people that are just in a hurry constantly, and
they don't have time for you or anything like that. When we go places, we're always greeted. You know, we are greeted with a good morning, good afternoon, whatever. And in the States, it's not like that. So, but
you greeted everybody you passed in the United States like we do here. People would look at you funny.
yeah, but it might
Which
be
is sad. I like it.
I like it too. It might be our community, but we have gone to several different cities here in Mexico, and it's the same way.
Yeah, and we know we've said it before. We know there are places that are scary or whatever, but yeah.
So, but anyways, that's it that we have for Spanish school. Well, one more thing is you can, to get from your home that you're living in to Spanish school, you can walk, you can ride a bike, or you can drive, if you bring your car down. So,
and there are places here to actually buy bikes and rent bikes and
So I think that's all the questions, though. But if you do have any other questions, feel free to comment below, and we will answer them through commenting back. And make sure you subscribe. And we'll be posting more videos to explain more things about what's going on around here at Roca Blanca Mission Base.
Lots of exciting things happening here.
Yep. All right. Adios.
Adios.
Okay, you can have it back.
Buenos dias. Yeah, it's a video.
Good.
And also they have bread that's very special this time of the year, and sometimes you see it like this, or like this, and this is special bread. Sometimes it'll have a figure of a person on it, and so we call it dead bread, but it's usually good bread, very good bread, usually made with a little more egg yolk than normal, and they only make this. I mean, they make bread all year long, but they only make this special bread during this holiday, a week or two within the holiday, and it's on the little altars you'll see in people's homes or in their businesses.
Vamos y así no lo pongo.
Okay, we're working on getting it all set up for the fire.
That's what we're waiting on.
So it's got a lot of applications.
mean, it seems like if you'd have talked to us earlier, we could eliminate a lot of words for that word.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, yeah. Or I could say, well, the thing about my computer.
You're gonna go this way. Simpático tigre.
Here, I'll hold the camera.
2, 3. Screw it up. Not bad.
I'm gonna take a picture of Dave's hand.
Okay, the other one is.
Sí, me voy a acostar, ya me voy a acostar, tengo sueño, ok, ya me voy. Ajá.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is on the moment we are.
Just don't get hit with spikes.
Okay, so Nick is still finishing his test. All right, you guys. This is goodbye.